and angel fly within my life, beside me in all I do.
Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly angel reading for March 23rd through to the 29th. It is officially spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, so I thought we would connect with the fairies this week using Doreen Virtue's magical messages from the fairies deck. So let's see what they have to say for us for Monday and Tuesday first of all. Okay, so here is an interesting card for Monday and Tuesday. Debt paid off. It's very specific. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. Wow, okay, so the angels and fairies are pointing towards our finances and letting us know that this is a real shift for us. If we have been feeling stressed or worried about money, it doesn't mean that you have to have a lot of debt to be paid off, but this points to just reminding us to focus on our abundance this week rather than the lack of it. So if you find yourself worrying about your money, this is a sign for you to know that your prayers have been heard and are answered in various different ways. Please follow your guidance to seek help if you are feeling nudged to do that. So much of it is about allowing us to receive in various different ways, and so many times I see people say, oh, my money is not flowing, or I find myself worrying about this and worrying about that, and actually then they're keeping themselves in that holding pattern because they refuse to actually allow people to help them. So it doesn't mean to say that you have to ask people for money or anything like that. It can do if you're guided to do that, but receiving is universal. So if you are struggling in one area of your life to receive, then usually it means to work on it in general. So as I've said many times before, affirming, I am open to receiving in all ways. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am provided for it every moment. There are some of my affirmations that I use, but actually as I'm tuning into this card, the fairies are actually saying that this is about us feeling like any weight is being lifted off our shoulders this week, that we are coming out of a cloudy period into more sunlight, and that's not just because it's spring. I really have felt that this is going to be a huge turning point for many of us. And so if you have felt burdened or worried or things have been particularly challenging, just literally feel your shoulders rolling back, letting the energy move off your shoulders so that you don't have to carry the weight anymore. I feel like this is a week to really breathe a sigh of relief, to know that we can move forward, but we must focus upon what ways we want to move forward rather than continuing to keep ourselves stuck. So basically doing something different that we haven't done for a while, changing things up, perhaps changing our routine, allowing different people to support us if that's what we need. Debts also to me feel like there's that kind of really heavy contract energy that many of us come in with. Many humans, we all have contracts and different things that we decide to learn, but actually this is a real time of free will. This is a time when we get to say no more of that. I'm not doing that. I can learn through joy. I let go of having to suffer to grow. This is a time where I really choose to be in the new rather than the old, and you can ask an archangel called Raziel to help you to do that, as well as the fairies. The fairies, as I've said before, are beautiful, light, playful beings, so they are perfect to help us to lift off any heaviness and go more into the playfulness of life. Here we go. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, perfect timing. I would just say that this is validation. Yes, it's perfect timing to move forward. It says this is the right time for you to move forward. So really don't need to add any more to that. And sometimes I feel like this card is just, adding validation to the one before and after. Divine timing is everything. It's not always in our time, but this is perfect time for us. This is perfect time for us to say, okay, I am ready. I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm not going to put the brakes on. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to hold myself back through fear anymore. Sometimes it is a time to reflect, as we know. Sometimes it is a time to be quiet. But I really feel like this week, particularly because of the card before, is just saying go for it. Okay, now this is really interesting, and this really happens to me when I do these weekly readings, but two popped out at the same time for the weekend. So I'm going to read them, both together, and just know that we're obviously supposed to have an extra card this week. This is really just confirming everything that we've already said, that this is a real time of transition into the new this week. It says goodbye to the old and hello to the new. You finish one part of your life and now a new, even better part is beginning. Hallelujah! Can you hear us say that? Yay! I'm excited. You've heard me say, I think last week and a lot on my Facebook page, we just had the spring equinox on Friday, and it usually is a period of 3 days or so. So we're really in an amazing time for transformation, for going into the new. We've just gone into Aries, the sign of Aries, which is the beginning of the astrological year. So we're going from Pisces, which is really emotional and can be intense but beautiful, really feeling into that fiery, more active phase. So this is just really letting us know that they are right behind us. They're supporting us with that. You can call upon them if you find yourself in that little void place, which is what I call the in-between stage. And it's one of the reasons why I wrote my song In Between Miracles, because even when we feel like we're in that place where we don't know what's going to happen, we also know that there's always hope and that new things are around the corner. So have faith. Now, this is really interesting, this card, and it is specific. So I was just asking the fairies what it means. It says sun. Your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. So first of all, I want you to know that if you are a mother, sometimes the greatest things that we worry about are our families and our children. So they're wanting to point to mothers and to those of you who may be worried about younger males in your life, letting you know that if you do need support with them, please to call on the angels and the fairies, and also, of course, any physical support that you can trust. They're also giving me chills because I really feel that this is a message for perhaps more than one of you who have said goodbye to a son of yours and your son is in spirit. So I don't know whether there is a few people watching that will be the case for, but they're just showing me that they want you to know that all is well, that they are with you, and that they are encouraging you to make these changes. So often when we have to say goodbye to any loved ones, we can question that. It's totally natural to do it, but they're also saying that, one of the greatest things that we can learn from the, sometimes what seems like an untimely departure of young people in our lives is really just to make the most of the experience of life that we have, and that they want us to be happy. So if you are finding yourself grieving, of course, by all means, honor your feelings, but don't stop your life, don't stop living because somebody else that you care about is gone, because they are always connected to you by love, and they really, really want us to live our lives to the fullest, because from their perspective, life is never ending, but we also want to make the most of the opportunity that we have to love ourselves, to love each other, to be happy now, not when not when we're perfect or we have that perfect job or that perfect relationship, but to just really embrace what is important to us and who is important to us, because really that's all we take with us. So please know that if you are a mother or a father who has lost a son or somebody dear to you who is younger, they are with you. They are with you, and they send you much love. As we do, as I do, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. This is a pivotal, changing week, and I'm with you. Bye-bye for now.